Hey everyone, Dr. Josh Matson here with Infinity Chiropractic Center. I'm going to talk about a reflex. I read the study a little while back, and it was talking about reflexes that are common in kids with learning disabilities. And what I mean by reflexes are primitive reflexes. We check a lot of them, but this one was found in the study they did. It was found in 75% of the kids they tested that all had learning disabilities. And the reflex was what's called a symmetrical tonic neck reflex. It stands for STNR. It's a reflex that should go away right around 8 months. It's what you see when kids are learning to crawl and they go on their hands and knees and they rock back and forth, back and forth. What they're doing is they're developing their symmetrical tonic neck reflex. And what that reflex helps to do is a few different things. It helps them to develop their low back musculature, so if they can have the ability to sit up straight. So what you'll see in a lot of the kids that still have this reflex is their posture will be very bad. They'll have a really weak core, so their posture will be bad. And what that translates over to is if their core isn't strong and they can't sit up straight and their low back musculature is weak, what happens is they get uncomfortable very quickly. So they're the kids that constantly are moving in their seat, shifting their body, which therefore also steals their attention and makes learning more difficult. The biggest thing probably that plays into a lot of these kids' learning disabilities, though, is the symmetrical tonic neck reflex helps them to develop convergence and divergence of their eyes along with tracking up and down. So two things. If you can't, to read, you have to be able to converge your eyes in and then track and track and track. If you can't converge your eyes in, you get double vision or you see double of everything, or one eye has to work at a time. So it makes things a lot more difficult for kids when they have that reflex. Second thing is if they're going to copy anything from, like let's say a teacher's doing something up front and they go down to whatever they're writing on or their keyboard or whatever it is, they have to go up, down, up, down. If they can't do this very efficiently, it makes things very difficult, and it makes them feel like everyone's moving twice as fast as they are, and they just can't keep up. But those all come from the same reflex called the symmetrical tonic neck reflex. How you test it is you have them go on their hands and knees, kind of like like a puppy or whatever is what I usually say. Get in your hands like a puppy. But anyways, what you do is you have them go on their hands and knees, you have them drop their low back down, and you start lowering their head and raising their head. So they go up, down, kind of like a cat-cow in yoga. But what you're looking for is when you bring their head down, if their arms start to drop out as they go down, and as their head goes up, everything extends. And then you bring their head back down, their arms start to drop out, and they do it more and more. That's a positive for a symmetrical tonic neck reflex. Also, other things you look for is if they're on their hands and knees, let's say their arms don't drop out, but you're bringing their head up and their head down, and they're using their entire body, they're rocking their entire body to compensate for that movement. That's also a positive for a symmetrical tonic neck reflex. And when kids really have this reflex and it's really strong, when you drop their little back and bring their head down, their arms will just like completely fall out and they can't resist it at all because it's a reflex. It's just like, if you tap their knee in the right place, it'll jump. It's a reflexive action. But what that means is that reflex is just in the way of their body's ability to function well and their eyes' ability to function well. So anyways, this is that's a little bit about the symmetrical tonic neck reflex. If your kid has it, most likely they'll have difficulties in school. If they have it, let us know. We'll give you a plan to help them get rid of it so they can get past that and they can start functioning better. Have an awesome day and enjoy.